the most luxurious Rolls-Royce ever made doesn't even let you drive it. No steering wheel, no pedals, no control. Because in this car, you're not the driver. You're the royalty. Meet the Rolls-Royce Vision Next 100. When Rolls-Royce looked into the future, they didn't ask how fast can we go. They asked something far more dangerous. How far can we take luxury? The result is the 103EX, a fully autonomous, ultra-luxury concept built for people who don't follow roads. They own them. No driver. No controls. Just presence. From the outside, it looks unreal. Massive covered wheels, a long flowing body, and a full glass canopy that makes it feel like you're sitting inside a crystal. And when the door opens, it doesn't just open, it stages an entrance. A red carpet literally extends out. Because stepping out of this car is meant to feel like arriving at your own premiere. Inside, everything is stripped down to one thing. You. One single, throne-like seat. No dashboard. No screens fighting for attention. Just space. Silence. And control handed over to an AI assistant called Eleanor. You don't tell this car how to drive. You tell it how you want to feel. It adjusts the lighting, the ride, the route, everything, to match your mood. This isn't transportation anymore. It's a personalized luxury experience. Now, before you start saving up, this car is still just a concept. But knowing Rolls-Royce, don't be surprised if pieces of this future start showing up sooner than you think. And let's be honest, if cars like this become normal, parallel parking is officially extinct. So here's the real question. If a car could do everything perfectly for you, would you give up control? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more luxury car content. Because here, we don't just show cars, we show what the future feels like. I'll see you in the next one. There's a car inspired by a single flower, and it costs more than a mansion. Not built for speed, not built for attention, built for emotion. So, how far would you go to turn a personal story into a one-of-one car? Welcome to the Rolls-Royce Droptail La Rose Noire. This isn't just rare, this is almost unreal. Only a few people on the planet will ever own a Droptail. And this specific one, La Rose Noire, is inspired by a rare black rose. Yeah, a car inspired by a flower. Let that sink in. In 2026, when brands are chasing performance numbers and tech headlines, Rolls-Royce went in the opposite direction. They focused on storytelling. Look at the design. The deep red exterior changes shades depending on light. Almost like the petals of a rose opening. The rear deck, handcrafted wood, shaped with insane precision. This isn't mass production. This is art on wheels. Even someone like Jay-Z, who's known for owning some of the rarest cars ever, would fit perfectly into something like this. Because this isn't about flexing. It's about legacy. So tell me, would you want a car that's fast, or a car that tells your story? Now step inside, and everything changes. This might be one of the most detailed interiors ever created. Over 1,000 pieces of wood veneer, carefully arranged to create a rose-like pattern across the cabin. Think about that. Not printed, not designed digitally. Hand-assembled. In a world where everything is automated in 2026, this car goes fully human. And here's something crazy. The watch integrated into the dashboard, it's removable. You can literally take it out and wear it. So now your car and your watch are one. Would you ever expect something like that from a car? Now performance. And honestly, that's not even the focus here. But still, you get a powerful V12 engine delivering smooth, effortless performance. Not aggressive, not loud, just enough to remind you. This is still a Rolls-Royce. Because this car isn't trying to win races. It's trying to outlive them. So what matters more to you? Speed that fades, or craftsmanship that lasts forever? Now let's talk price. This is where it gets insane. We're talking around $30 million. That puts it in a completely different universe. But here's the truth. You're not paying for the car, you're paying for something no one else can ever have. In 2026, when everything is becoming more accessible, this is the ultimate form of exclusivity. If you had unlimited money, would you buy something like this? Or would you still go for multiple supercars instead? The Rolls-Royce Droptail, Le Rose Noir proves one thing. Luxury isn't about having more. It's about having something no one else can touch. And hey, if you're into cars that feel more like art than machines, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who thinks cars are just about speed. And tell me in the comments, would you spend $30 million on a car like this? Or is that just crazy? And I will see you in the next one. What if I told you there's a car that doesn't just show wealth, it defines it? Not loud, not aggressive, just one look, and everyone already knows who you are. So what does it feel like to sit in something that world leaders and billionaires trust with their image? Welcome to the Rolls-Royce Phantom. This isn't just a car. This is a statement. From the moment you see it, everything feels commanding. That massive front grille, the long body, the presence. It doesn't try to impress you, it expects you to be impressed. In 2026, when cars are getting sharper and sportier, the Phantom still looks like pure authority on wheels. No trends, no experiments, just timeless dominance. Even someone like Jay-Z has been seen around Rolls-Royce level luxury. Because when you reach that level, you don't follow trends, you become one. So tell me, would you rather drive something flashy, or something that instantly earns respect without trying? Now step inside, and this is where the Phantom separates itself from everything else. This isn't an interior, this is an experience curated just for you. Rear seats, that's where the real magic is. You're not sitting, you're being transported. There's massive legroom, reclining seats, and a level of comfort that makes first-class flights feel average. And then comes something insane. The gallery. A full glass panel across the dashboard, where owners can literally place custom artwork. Yes, your car can display art inside it. In 2026, while other brands are pushing bigger screens, the Phantom turns your dashboard into a personal museum. Think about that. Would you rather have another screen, or your own piece of art no one else in the world has? And of course, the Starlight headliner is still here. Because why look at a plain roof when you can have a sky? Now let's talk power, because behind all this luxury, there's serious strength. A 6.75-liter twin-turbo V12 pushing around 563 horsepower. But here's the difference. The Phantom doesn't rush, it glides. Everything is tuned for one thing. You press the pedal, and the car moves like it already knew what you wanted. No drama, no noise, just absolute control. Even Cristiano Ronaldo, who owns some of the fastest cars on the planet, still keeps a Rolls-Royce. Because, well, speed impresses people, but presence commands them. So what matters more to you, speed that people hear, or status that people feel? Now, let's talk numbers. The Phantom starts at around $460,000. And in 2026, most builds cross $500K easily. And that's before you go crazy with customization. Because with Rolls-Royce Bespoke, there are basically no limits. You want a specific color matched to your private jet? Done. You want your initials stitched into every seat? Easy. This isn't buying a car, this is building your identity. But here's the real reason people choose the Phantom. It's not about showing off, it's about being undeniable. When this car arrives, nobody asks questions. They already know, if you had this level of money, would you go for something that gets attention? Or something that owns the room, without a word? The Rolls-Royce Phantom proves one thing. In 2026, true luxury isn't about being seen. It's about being remembered. And trust me, the next Rolls-Royce on this list, it takes luxury in a completely different direction, something way more rare, so don't miss that. And hey, if you're into cars that redefine status, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who thinks luxury has a limit. Seriously. And tell me, would you ride in the back of the Phantom? Or would you still choose to drive it yourself? There's a car so exclusive, only 3 people on Earth can own it. Not limited edition, not rare, almost untouchable. So how much would you pay for something that basically no one else can ever have? Welcome to the Rolls-Royce boat tale. This isn't just a car, this is what happens when money has no limits. Inspired by luxury yachts, the design is completely different from anything you've ever seen on the road. Look at the back. That flowing rear deck, the shape, the finish. It literally looks like a high-end boat turned into a car. In 2026, when every hypercar is fighting to look aggressive and futuristic, the boat tail just exists in its own world. No competition, no comparison. Even someone like Beyoncé and Jay-Z have been linked to this level of Rolls-Royce exclusivity. Because when you reach that level, normal luxury just isn't enough anymore. So tell me, what's more impressive to you? Speed, or something almost no one can buy? Now here's where it gets insane. The rear of the car actually opens up, like butterfly wings. And inside, a full hosting suite. Yes, inside your car. You get a built-in champagne fridge, custom Rolls-Royce umbrellas, even a full picnic setup. This isn't transportation. This is an event. Imagine pulling up somewhere, opening the back of your car, and just, casually setting up a luxury picnic. Who even thinks like that? In a world where people flex on social media in 2026, this is the kind of flex that doesn't even need posting. Would you actually use this feature, or is it just too much? Step inside, and things get even more personal. Everything is customized. Colors, materials, details, all tailored to the owner. Nothing is off the shelf. This isn't buying a car. This is creating something that represents you. Now performance? Honestly, it doesn't even matter here. But still, a powerful V12 engine, smooth ride, effortless driving. Because even at this level, Rolls-Royce never compromises. But let's be real, no one is buying this car for speed. They're buying it for a feeling. So what would you choose? A garage full of supercars? Or just one piece like this that nobody else can touch? Now let's talk money. This is where it becomes unreal. Around $28 million. Yeah, that's private jet money. But here's the real twist. Even if you had the money, you still probably couldn't get one. Because Rolls-Royce chooses the buyer. Not the other way around. In 2026, when money can buy almost anything, this is one of the few things it still can't easily buy. If you had unlimited wealth, would you even go for something like this? Or would it feel too extreme? The Rolls-Royce boat tail proves one thing. True luxury isn't about price, it's about access. And once you reach this level, you're not just rich, you're in a completely different world. So if you enjoyed this journey into ultimate luxury, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who thinks they've seen expensive cars before. And tell me, out of all these Rolls-Royce cars, which one are you choosing? There's a Rolls-Royce that billionaires buy when they don't want attention. Yeah. Sounds weird, right? Because usually Rolls-Royce screams money, but this one, it whispers it. So, why would someone spend over $300,000 just to stay low-key in 2026 when everyone's chasing attention online? Welcome to the Rolls-Royce Ghost. At first glance you might think, wait, that's it? No crazy sharp lines, no aggressive stance. no loud colors. And that's exactly the point. In 2026, when every car brand is going futuristic and flashy, the Ghost still sticks to that clean, timeless look. And somehow, that makes it stand out even more. Look closer, and suddenly, that iconic grille starts glowing at night. The body lines feel smooth like liquid metal, and everything just looks expensive without even trying. Even Drake has been linked with Rolls-Royce level luxury because sometimes, real flex is silence. Be honest, in a world full of attention seekers, would you choose to stand out or blend in like this? Step inside, and you're welcomed into what feels like your own private lounge. Every surface, every stitch, is designed for comfort and calm. It's not about shouting for attention, it's about surrounding yourself with pure, effortless luxury. And honestly, once you're in here, the outside world just kind of fades away. This isn't a car interior, this is a private lounge on wheels. But here's what makes it feel modern in 2026. Rolls-Royce uses something called a post-opulence design philosophy. Basically, less distraction, more calm. No giant screens thrown in your face like other luxury cars. Everything is hidden, minimal, and peaceful. You still get that starlight headliner, literally a sky above you. Doors that close themselves. Seats softer than your bed at home. And then there's the illuminated fascia. Tiny glowing stars built into the dashboard, not needed at all. Just pure flex. But the real flex? Near silent cabin, thanks to insane sound insulation. Making it honestly one of the quietest cars you can sit in today. Imagine sitting here at night, no noise, no stress. Would you even want to drive, or just disconnect from the world completely? There's just something about this car, you feel its presence before you even see it. The way it sits, the way it commands attention, it's honestly like nothing else on the road. It's not just about the badge, or the design, or even the price tag, it's about that unmistakable aura, the confidence that comes with knowing you're behind the wheel of something truly special. Now you might think, okay, it's luxury, but is it fast enough for today? Oh yeah, under the hood it's still rocking that 6.75-liter twin-turbo V12 with around 563 horsepower. But here's what matters more in 2026. Smoothness over speed. While other brands are going hybrid and electric, the Ghost sticks to pure V12 power. Tuned so perfectly, you barely feel anything. No gear shifts, no sudden pulls, just one continuous wave of power. It's not trying to compete, it's in its own lane. Even someone like Cristiano Ronaldo, who owns some of the loudest supercars in the world, still keeps Rolls-Royce in his garage. Because sometimes, you don't want noise, you want presence. So what would you choose today, high-tech electric hype, or this old-school luxury done perfectly? In a world where everyone wants to be seen, the real luxury is being able to disappear when you want to. That's what sets the Ghost apart. It's not just about the car, it's about the sanctuary it creates. For those who value their own space, that's worth every penny. Now, let's talk money. This thing starts at around $340,000. But in 2026, most buyers don't stop there. Through Rolls-Royce's bespoke program, people are customizing everything, from unique colors to interiors that literally no one else in the world has. So realistically, you're looking at 400 grand plus without even trying. In 2026, real luxury isn't about showing off, it's about choosing not to. If you enjoy this kind of luxury content, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who thinks loud cars are everything. And tell me, would you actually buy the Ghost in 2026, or is it too calm for your taste? Imagine a car so quiet that the loudest thing you hear inside it is your own breathing. No roaring engine, no vibrations, just pure, effortless luxury moving through the air. Now imagine that car is a Rolls-Royce. For more than 100 years, Rolls-Royce built its reputation on smooth engines and ultimate comfort. But now they've done something completely different. They removed the engine and replaced it with electricity. So the real question is, can an electric car still feel like a true Rolls-Royce? Welcome to the Rolls-Royce Spectre. Let's start with the design, because this thing doesn't just look expensive. It looks powerful in a quiet way. The front of the Spectre carries one of the most dramatic grilles Rolls-Royce has ever built. It's illuminated with soft lighting that makes the entire front glow at night. And sitting above it is the legendary Spirit of Ecstasy, redesigned to glide through the air more smoothly than ever before. From the side, the Spectre looks incredibly long and elegant. The roofline flows down like a luxury yacht, while the huge wheels give the car a confident stance on the road. It's not aggressive like a supercar. Instead, it gives off a different message. I don't need attention, but I'll get it anyway. And then, you open the door. This is where Rolls-Royce reminds everyone why they're still the kings of luxury. Inside the Spectre, everything feels handcrafted. Soft leather, polished metal, perfectly stitched details everywhere you look. And above you is the famous Starlight headliner. Thousands of tiny lights built into the roof that recreate a glowing night sky. But the Spectre adds something new. The doors themselves now sparkle with thousands of tiny illuminated stars. So when the cabin lights dim at night, the whole interior feels like you're sitting inside a moving constellation. Honestly, calling it a car almost feels wrong. It's more like a private luxury lounge that happens to move. And of course, cars like this attract some serious celebrity attention. Artists like Drake are already known for owning multiple Rolls-Royce models. Many of them heavily customized, and the Spectre feels exactly like the kind of futuristic Rolls-Royce that celebrities love adding to their collections. Now here's where things get interesting. Unlike traditional Rolls-Royce models, the Spectre doesn't have a V12 engine. Instead, it runs on a fully electric system producing around 577 horsepower. That might not sound crazy compared to hypercars, but remember, this is a massive luxury coupe. Despite its size, the Spectre can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 4.4 seconds, which means this ultra-luxury car is surprisingly quick when it wants to be. But speed was never the main goal. The real focus was comfort. Rolls-Royce engineers spent years perfecting the suspension so the car could read the road ahead and adjust itself instantly. The result? A ride so smooth that bumps almost disappear. It genuinely feels like the car is floating above the road. And that's exactly the experience Rolls-Royce wanted. Because the Spectre isn't trying to be the loudest electric car, it's trying to be the most relaxing one. Now let's talk about the price. The Rolls-Royce Spectre starts at roughly $420,000. But Rolls-Royce buyers rarely stop there. Custom colors, unique interiors, personalized details. These options can push the final price far beyond $500,000. Which means every Spectre that leaves the factory is usually completely unique. A one-of-one luxury machine built specifically for its owner. So here's something I'm curious about. If someone gave you the keys to a $400,000 electric Rolls-Royce, would you actually drive it every day? Or would you keep it locked in the garage like a piece of art? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy discovering the world's most insane luxury machines, make sure you stick around. Because the next car we're looking at might be even more unbelievable. Still think it's just an SUV? Let's talk about the one car that doesn't drive, it dominates. Welcome to the 2025 Cullinan, where the price hurts, but the status heals. Starting at $390,000, and that's before you even touch the options. Want a Starlight headliner? That's a Honda Civic. Custom umbrellas in the doors? Yeah, they come with it, and cost more than your monthly rent. This isn't transportation. This is a $400,000 way to remind your neighbor their Lexus is cute. You know who owns a Cullinan? Drake, Travis Scott, and probably the guy who bought your childhood home and turned it into a wine cellar. Travis Scott's Cullinan has his name stitched into the doors, because why not flex in leather? And Drake, his Cullinan is so blacked out it looks like a mobile panic room for millionaires. This isn't just rich, it's don't talk to me unless you own a continent. Rich. The Cullinan doesn't drive past you, it makes an entrance. Big, square, unapologetically regal. It's the only SUV that looks like it runs on cash and quiet judgment. The grille, a chrome wall, the spirit of ecstasy, disappears into the hood if it senses a poor decision. Or a poor person. Oh, and the silence you hear? That's 448 horses politely disrespecting the highway. Step inside. And it's not a car. It's a VIP lounge on wheels, massaging seats, polished wood that feels like a therapy session, leather so soft you start questioning your own skincare. The AC vents feel like they'd rather cool someone richer. Even the armrest has better manners than most people. This isn't just comfort, it's old money doesn't raise its voice energy. Now gas. The Cullinan doesn't sip fuel, it drinks it like a retired UFC fighter drinks protein shakes. And maintenance? Let's just say if you scratch a rim, that's not a repair, that's a 5-figure lesson in don't parallel park. And don't even ask about insurance, it's not a policy, it's a partnership. So, why do people actually buy the Cullinan? Not for the drive, not for the comfort, not even for the badge. They buy it for the reaction. The side eyes and valet lines. The DMs after you post it. The feeling of stepping out like you're late for a Forbes interview. This SUV isn't driven, it's performed. So is the 2025 Rolls-Royce Cullinan worth it? If you're normal, absolutely not. If you're rich, maybe. But if you're rich and want everyone else to suffer about it, then yes. This SUV was built for you, the Cullinan. The car that doesn't whisper wealth, it broadcasts it on a private frequency. If this video made you laugh, sigh, or just Google how to afford a Cullinan, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Because we're breaking down the world's most expensive flexes, one ridiculous car at a time.